Many of you have already experienced herbal medicine's positive effect on your health. I hope that through these videos you gain the tools to take an even greater role in your own well-being. That being said, no forum, post, or website comment should be considered health advice. You are responsible for consulting a medical professional before trying any new herb or remedy mentioned in these videos or any related forum. The content is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultations with healthcare professionals. When most people think of pharmacies, they think of this. When I think of pharmacies, I think of this. Chris, put that away. We're in the woods.
Why?
Didn't you ever see the commercials of Bigfoot? We're in the woods, you know.
Well, if that's the case, we'll have to call the Wanderer Woodsman. I'll have to put it on his channel.
That's right, he does do Bigfoot series. Today I want to share an herb that you've seen everywhere. It's plantain, so let's get started. It's plantain, and it's this little guy right down here. And it's actually all over here. This was nicknamed by the Indians as white man's footprints because they found it growing in the tire tracks behind the wagons. This plant originally came from Europe and has followed us everywhere, so it's called the people plant. This plant likes compact soils, but what's it used for? This plant's been used since the early Greek herbalism because it was super valuable and has become one of my favorite herbal plants. And let's just take a walk a little ways and talk about plantain. I'm going to pull off one of the leaves and show you the other names that they call it. They call it ribwort, and that's because of all the ribs growing along it. So let me pull it off. And you can see all the ribs growing along it. So I'm going to show you how to make an herbal band-aid. Say you got a cut while you were out, or a bite of some sort, or some kind of wound. What you want to do is take one of the plantain leaves and start chewing on it. That's called a spit poultice. So I'll be back to you when I'm done chewing. All right, I'm done chewing. So if your wound is here on your finger, you're going to put the spit poultice right here on your finger, and you're going to take another leaf, and because it has ribs, you're going to be able to use the stem to kind of hold it there and make like an herbal band-aid. Just like that. And this leaf is kind of small, but there's bigger leaves and you can make it better, but it'll do, and it'll hold it on there temporarily. This really is such a great first aid remedy. You know, if you're out and about and you don't have your antibiotic cream and your band-aids with you, this really helps because not only does it help soothe it, it actually is healing it at the same time. And if you don't want to chew on it and make a spit poultice, you can just rough it up with your hands, the leaf, until you get the juices going on it, stick it on, and then put another leaf around it for the band-aid. Let's take a walk by the lake here, or not lake, the pond, and there's somebody fishing over there. Yeah, he's sitting over there fishing. I have personally used this many times. And one time I had to use it because, you know, when you walk in with a brand new pair of shoes and you're hiking for a while, the back of your ankle gets sore, it rubs the skin off. And I've actually made a spit poultice out of this, put it on the back, put another piece over it and put my shoe back on, and it held it, and I was able to continue to walk and get my hike down until I got back to the car. So it worked really well for that. And I've also used it a few times when I have touched poison ivy by mistake when I've been out foraging and just out hiking. So they claim, and I have seen this work for myself twice, that if you've touched poison ivy by mistake, to look down for some plants. Plantain is one of them. There are others. And to rough it up, get the juices going on the leaf, and then rub it wherever you think that you've come in contact with the poison ivy, and it will neutralize it until you get home to take a shower. And twice this worked for me because I have touched poison ivy but didn't actually get the poison ivy after neutralizing it with the plantain. And like I said, there's other plants that'll help neutralize it, and we'll get to that later. But right now, if you find some plantain around, that will do the trick. Plantain is really an herb that everybody should know because it just helps with so many different disorders. And plantain can also be taken internally. It helps with any mucous membranes. Where plantain shines the most is the ability for it to heal bleeding ulcers and digestive tract issues and inflammation. Irritable bowel and chronic inflammation in your gut, and there are so many people suffering from this. This plant, taken as a juice or tea, or as a tincture, is able to soothe and calm down any of the digestive issues you could be having. And I brought my own bottle of plantain tincture that I made last year. And you make this by, you take the leaves. This one's plantain leaf. And you take the leaves and you chop them up really finely. And you put them in a container. And then you fill that container up with alcohol. I used vodka. It has to be at least 80 proof. And you fill it all the way up above and cover the leaves completely. And then you let it sit for 6 to 8 weeks in the dark, in a cool, dark place. And then you strain it and you bottle it. And then you have your own plantain tincture. And like I said, this is about a year old, and this is what it looks like. And then you have it whenever you need it. Delicious. Not really. Anything that tastes good, spit it out. This stuff doesn't taste very good, neither does any of the tinctures. It's got alcohol and bitter plants, so it doesn't taste really good, but it's really good for you. That's how you know it's good for you. It doesn't taste very good. And if you see the seeds when they come up around midsummer, the seeds you can use as a type of psyllium to help with the lower intestinal tract and kind of pull out and cleanse that whole area of your body. So you can see it all on the ground here. It's smaller right now because they mowed the grass and stuff, but it's smaller right now, but it's all over. So plantain's infinity to clean and disinfect not only works with wounds and external, but also internal mucous membranes, which means not only the digestive tract, but the gums and the lungs specifically as well. When you're working with the mouth, this is a great first aid remedy for anyone who has gum inflammation, especially, if you just had a tooth extracted. So you can use this by chewing it and swishing it around your mouth, or making a tea out of it and then sipping on the tea. The herbal plant is great for the spring when people get a lot of allergies. You get a lot of congestion in your lungs, don't you? This will really work well for that. So because plantain works with the mucous membranes of the body, you could actually juice the plantain. If you have sore eyes or dry eyes, you can put some of the juice in your eyes to relieve the soreness. You can also drip a few drops of the juice into your ears to help to relieve earache. So plantain will work with both dry sinuses and wet sinuses, and that's because it has the properties of being astringent and demulcent. So that means it's going to dry up where it needs to be dried up, and it's going to soothe and moisturize the areas that need to be moisturized and soothed. And you know what? The plant is intelligent enough to know which it is that you do need, It's great for people that have asthma. So as you can see, plantain has many, many uses. And it's everywhere, really easily found. We hope you're enjoying the Medicinal Plant series, and if you are, please hit the like button and subscribe. We'd love to bring you more.